Hi everyone, it's Roger and Abe here from DisKingdom.com with our Infinity and Beyond episode number 48. And it's Roger here in the UK and we have Abe there in sunny California.
How's it going, everybody?
All right. Okay, on this week's show, we're going to be discussing the Toy Box Summit announcement. We're going to be discussing a competition that Disney Infinity are running in Los Angeles. We've also got some remote Disney Play, holiday showcase, Toy Box TV Live, and we're going to have a bit of a guess at maybe what we can see, what we think is going to be coming up with the Marvel lineup. So, Abe, have you had a good week?
Yes, I have. It's been pretty awesome, actually. Put up some unboxing videos, still got a couple to go, and I got my Marvel's Collector's Corp box in. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I've got mine too yesterday. Yeah, so you got all your figures behind me. I can just see them just above his head. You can just see anger and sadness and Darth Maul. And he's just got that Rise of the Empire set as well there. Yeah. Lucky. Right. Okay. So just going to give a quick shout out to our Patreons. You can find out more information at patreon.com/DisKingdom. So big thank you to Ethan over at sorterapps.com and magicbandcollectors.com for all his help. And
thank you, guys.
And give a shout out to James at the Infinity Museum. Big thank you to our I can't believe it's been a great thing so far. So yeah, big thank you to everyone for that. It helps us basically trying to improve the show. So let's kick off first off with the really sort of big news of the week. The Toy Box Summit has been announced. It was announced on Toy Box TV Live last week by Allison and Matt Sully. But yeah, it's going to be returning, and let's bring up the information for you guys. Here we go. So the Toy Box Summit is going to be coming here on August 11th to 13th, 2015. In Anaheim, California, in conjunction with D23 Expo. And this is basically the same as last year, where the Toy Box artists are going to be got their hands on the game and doing a first ever 3.0 building competition with the entire community voting on the winners. There'll also be presentations, Q&A with the team behind Disney Infinity. So that's now been announced. What were your first thoughts on this one, Abe?
I thought this was going to happen. I mean, the way I saw it, D23 is big. There's this big dead space in between Comic-Con and the game launch. It wouldn't make sense to have there was this big space in between Comic-Con and D23, and then the game launch is not so far after D23, and I figured, well, they can either do it in between, or they can do it at D23, or it wouldn't make sense if they did it after. So it just makes sense, and it's cool. Plus the little hints we got from Allison saying she's working on a community event, and plus when I had a talk with her at E3, she was very hush hush. She didn't give anything away, but you can tell it's some. If she was working on it hands on, and she hasn't said anything about traveling or anything to Utah or anything, it just made sense that she's doing something out here. So.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say with D23 in sort of California this year, which happens every 2 years, it made sense for them to be there. And of course, the big thing really is this rumored August release date. We've seen lots of retailers. Apparently, there is going to be an announcement of the release date in the next week or so. But if that announcement is the right for end of August, maybe beginning of September, it was going to have to be in August before launch.
Yeah, and honestly, it makes sense too, because you're gonna have the awesome Toy Box artists attending, so it's easy to just give away an early copy of the game to these guys right then and there. I mean, it just makes sense. But there's another question I had, and for some reason I can't remember the dates. Are the dates for D23 the exact dates for the summit, or are they just a few days after?
The summit is a few days before the summit. So the summit is a few days before the expo.
Okay, yeah. So that also that also kind of screams the possibility of they're also scoring not only the summit but tickets to D23 and possibly even Disneyland, since it's right there. So that's all those artists are very lucky. So congratulations, guys! You guys earned it.
Yeah, and like this year, what they did was basically you had to have 7 Toy Box wins.
Yeah.
Under your belt to get to be so that to get 7 wins, that takes a lot of effort, a lot of time. Getting featured once is hard. Getting featured over 7 times is pretty difficult, and that's gone for the whole year. So that really kind of, like I said, it puts in the very top end of the toy box artists. It means that you've really got the guys that know that toy box in and out. They're the ones producing the weekly content. They're the one, you know, because there's a lot of big names that kind of get in there a lot, and they put a lot of time and effort into the toy box. And you know, from my point of view, it makes complete sense, because they're rewarding sort of these artists with this idea of this competition. It's really spurred on the community this year with 2.0. I can't put any doubt on that competition has really revved up everyone this year. The toy boxes have been, you know, coming in thick and fast. There's always big entries, lots of really big, strong ones. You got collaborations taking place, and that's because everyone wants to be featured, and it's a much bigger push, I feel, for 2.0.
Yeah, the whole collaboration thing, I wonder how that works too. I wonder if, you know, if 5 people collaborated on one toy box and they were featured, does that mean all 5 of them get a feature? I'm wondering how that works, because that would be something that I feel like, hey, well, anybody can piggyback off of that, so that's kind of iffy. But either way, I think regardless of the fact, all these toy boxes we've seen are awesome. They totally deserve it. If they receive an invitation, power to them. They've been great, and I can't wait to see what this summit has in store. It's going to be really cool. And plus, we're trying to work out details and figure out and see if we can try to get some coverage for you guys in some way or some form. So we'll let you guys know the sooner we know.
Yeah, we're working on a few things there, but also last year it was live streams through Twitch, so we're hoping to be doing that, and we'll be doing coverage from that anyway. But I think also with the Toy Box Summit is it works from the point is a last minute event to get people excited about the Disney Infinity just before launch. It's a great way of getting the community into, you know, seeing how the toy box works, voting for. It's more of a community event, because it might not necessarily attract mainstream attention, but it keeps the community going. There's a big buzz, you know, all the toy box artists are watching the feed, catching up, you know, even if they're not going, I'm going to be keeping up with it, trying to get going. So it's a nice advertising point from that, but it also keeps the community really interested in it. It's a unique experience from that. And for me, it's a fantastic move from Disney. It might not be as good from the marketing point of view, you know, it's not as easy to sell that, but a question and answer session and live sort of twitching from there will allow the major toy box community to be into the game, but also, you know, that's their daily that's their constant content. It makes sense for them to encourage that and make that grow, because to me, the toy box has always been that, you know, if I go on there now, there's new content every single time I boot up my Infinity. There is new content created by its users, and by encouraging that, it's making the game a lot stronger.
Yeah. No, absolutely, I agree, and that's what originally this game was about, the toy box. Yeah. And the fact is, we have so much available to us to design and to build, and these guys come up with these amazing creations, and the fact that we can download it, it's phenomenal. So, now, like I said, power to them. I'm excited for the summit. Can't wait to see what happens. See if Mighty Jidus will fight for her crown, or she's gonna sit back and relax. Who knows? We'll see what happens. But I'm assuming we're also gonna see her townsperson there. Yeah, that would be kind of cool. So
yeah. Also at the event, Disney have announced there is going to be, basically, if you haven't already got your invite, because they've already gone out, you will see there's basically an extra people to go. There's going to be a contest for 4 additional slots to get in there. And you've got to basically build a toy box, and you basically going to have to be as good as it possibly can be. But it's only available to contestants within the US and Canada. So yeah, me and Jason have been eliminated. So you've got to basically you've got to build your contest, and I'm just trying to see here. I'm just here. You've got to build the ultimate summer vacation destination, and the summit. And your toy boxes have to be in by July 13th, and you get you get to attend the Toy Box Summit as an artist. Get an all expenses paid trip with round trip airfare, 3-night stay, meals during your Toy Box Summit, and an early copy of the Disney Infinity Starter Pack. and 10 first place winners who don't get in that will also receive a Disney fan pack, which includes a t-shirt, a bag, a play set, and some figures. So that's pretty cool.
2 playsets and 3 other figures.
Yes, you get Rise of the Empire and Inside Out and free. So that's nice. So even if you are, this under no stretch of imagination, I know if I was a toy box artist or someone building them, I'd be entering this contest, because even just a chance of getting those for, even just a chance of winning the pack is a really cool option. We don't normally have this with the weekly challenge.
I'm more than happy to have you and Jason work on that toy box, and I'll submit it in behalf of both of you, and and then you guys can have my prize back. That's the best compromise I have for you guys. Otherwise, sorry.
But yeah, it's a really cool way. I like the idea of them doing this additional 4 guest spots for getting people into the event through a nice challenge. Gives everyone a second chance, because if you haven't already got your invite, it gives everyone that little hope they can get there. I think the prize packs are there. I think it's just good all around. It's just a great community event.
Yeah, and last year they did something similar. They had like 3 extra spots, and you had to make like a video with the toy box. But I like the fact that they're making you build a toy box, so it's great. Good luck to those other 4. So
yeah,
we'll see how it goes.
I think it's that thing. Looking at there's this thing like the video competitions and all the rest of it. With this being a specific toy box artist one, I think if you get some people, you get those 4 spots filled with people that build toy boxes, going to make the competition better, making it. So no, I'm really, really, really excited about this. Can't wait to see it. It's just hard to believe we're only 6 weeks, 7 weeks away from it.
Yeah,
it's not long.
Creeping up, man. It's creeping up. I mean, I'm still like freaking out because Comic-Con is coming. I feel like I just got off of E3, so it's crazy.
Yes, right. Okay, so I think we're gonna move now on to our next subject. Okay,
we should probably.
Right.
I was thinking we should talk about, since we were on the conversation of contests, we should talk about this contest that's also going on right now.
Right.
And do you want me to talk about it, or are you going to bring it up, or what's the deal, yo?
Yes, yeah, that's the deal, y'all.
All right. Well, there's another contest going on. The first leg of it, because there's 3 different legs. Entries are already over, but basically they're doing a 3-leg contest. I'm assuming it's going to be different from toy box building, obviously. The image had the image of the contest. I don't know if you're bringing that up or not, but it had it looked like a raceway. I don't know if they're going to have like a race competition or something, but anyways, you had to submit a video saying why you're the ultimate Disney Infinity fan, and the first leg was due by, I think it was last Friday. And it's going to take place at Comic-Con on July 10th. So there's going to be 16 people going at it, I guess, for 1 spot. And there's going to be a second leg, I guess another 16 people at D23, and a third leg at another location that hasn't been disclosed yet. I think it's going to be September. But what's cool is whoever wins in each of these legs, they're all going to go to the Ultimate Showdown that's going to take place on the Disney Dream, the cruise line. Those 3 guys or gals will actually go on this 3-day cruise just to compete, which is awesome. And if all of you guys remember, the Disney Dream is also going to have this awesome new Disney Infinity section involving 3.0 now, and apparently exclusive to the cruise line content. So that's a great opportunity for those people to get access to that as well. But definitely, I would keep your eye open for this. I'm sure they're going to stream live on Twitch for this at Comic-Con, but keep your eyes open for the next period of entries for D23, because that's going to be awesome.
Yeah, well, because I'm guessing it's that thing of, if they're in LA, it makes sense with D23, and if they do the same Comic-Con, and then I'm guessing the third leg could be on the cruise ship.
No. The final is on the cruise. The final's on the cruise ship. The third one is in September at some undisclosed location yet. So
yeah, so that's cool. I mean, it's good little competitions. I think them, making the most of being, kind of very LA Pacific with, well, E3, Comic-Con, D23, they're all in that area.
But see, I have a feeling the third one is going to be somewhere maybe in Florida or the East Coast, because it makes sense. But obviously, the final is going to take place on the Disney Dream, and I'm assuming it's. I was trying to read and see the fine print and see where it could possibly be or when, and I think it's November. Because November, it said must be available to travel. It said November 6th through the 9th. So I'm assuming that would be the 3-day period. So, but
also,
anyways, keep your eyes open for that. Go ahead.
But also, I mean, that kind of maybe slides into because of the way that they stretch out the releases this year. Because I think the play sets and figures, everything's going to be stretched out a little bit more. So they're going to want to keep that sort of publicity building, because it's not just literally here's the launch, here's everything, go. Like I think it was last year. I think we're going to see we know Rise of the Empire is coming out a month after the initial launch. We know some of the figures are coming out later. We don't know about the Marvel playset. We don't know about the Force Awakens playset. We don't know if there's anything else coming after that. I think there's going to see a lot more stretched out content. So right through the I think through the winter, you're going to see a lot more drip feeding rather than because looking at like now, you're looking at all these pre-orders and stuff that's all available. I think that's going to be the launch lineup. I think that those two play sets and figures will be the launch lineup, and it makes sense to have these competitions to kind of build excitement for it.
Yeah, I totally agree. And like you said, everything's going to be stretched out, so it makes sense to have events even after launch, just to keep dripping, like you said, just keep percolating through that.
Okay, right. Let's move on to our next subject. Okay, so our next subject is going to be just a quick note, really, just from a note that's for Vita owners, because obviously, if you are on the PlayStation 4, you can use your PlayStation Vita for remote play, and it's something I use myself. It means that you could be sort of sat there and using your Vita. And JV has basically sent out a tweet replying to a question, which I thought, as I use it, it said here. Steve asked, any word on better PS4 remote play controls on the 3.0? A nice start would be not mapping the triggers to the Vita Vella, the new rear touchpad, of which JV said the guys at Panic Button have fixed it this year. So personally, I understand that because on the back of the Vita, you have these two little sort of touchpads. So when I'm playing, I keep knocking them with my fingers while I'm playing, and it was really annoying. And after playing on the Vita version of the game, the controls are so much better. So if they've got the same control mechanism that they've got on the Vita version as they've got on the remote play, fantastic news. And it might be the only way we're going to get a Vita version of Disney Infinity this year.
Yeah, I agree. 3.0 did say that there was no plans to release it on Vita. So basically streaming it off the Vita is the best way to go.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think with the Vita at the minute, it's while Sony have said that there's over 100 games in development for it, it's very much kind of become the sort of remote play indie game. We're not seeing a lot of big sort of AAA games kind of out on the console. It's a real shame because I'm going to be honest, if they put out a Vita Place starter pack at launch, I'd buy that as well as the standard one, because it's great to actually when I'm out to have the proper version on my Vita. So as a Vita owner, I've been completely sort of converted, and the idea of having built toy boxes on the Vita version and played play sets, the iPad version just doesn't compare to me anymore.
I bet, yeah.
There's Vita owners. Anyway, guys, just like to big a big shout out as well once again to our Patreons before we move on to the next stop. Right, on to the next one. Right, okay, so our next subject is going to be Toy Box TV Live. Live. So we were watching that one. I know you were racing home to get home to watch that event.
I only hit like 5 people, so it was okay.
Right. Elbow or drive out the way. So Matthew Sully and Alison were on this week's show. And it was a very strong show, actually, because JV was out in New York. So they were running through, and you can tell these guys have done a lot of presentations at E3 now, because they've got that patter off for playing through those play sets while they're doing it. They've definitely got the hang of that.
Yeah, that's true. No, it was a good Toy Box TV Live. lots of great gameplay. Sully seemed to be very willing to show what he could, because he was asking the community what they wanted to see, and he would try to provide as much as he could. So it was good.
It
I
was,
got to see some interesting stuff. So
yeah, it was very, like you said, it was very sort of toy, sort of just kind of running through that place that straight away jumped straight into it. And so that worked really well. I'll just bring up the recap that we have on DisKingdom.com. Just so we can see it here. So yeah, we've got to see the skill tree for Anakin and Yoda. I'll just bring up the image higher. So it looks like on these skill trees that there is a slight difference in how they're doing it, because now you've got like 5 pages of them, and they've broken down into like health, defense, force ability, and other ones. So they've broken them down a little bit more, not all on one big screen.
right.
So that looks pretty interesting. It looks like it's a nice way of kind of maybe there's a lot more options this year, because last year the path there wasn't really a lot of options once you kind of got the basic stuff out of the way.
Yeah, it was a little overwhelming too, because I mean, it was easy to use, but you had everything there, and so this is nice that you actually get to see them broken down a bit. And plus, it does seem like they're a lot more because of the force abilities. But no, I like it. In fact, this does have the feel of, and I think JV said it himself too, so it kind of confirmed what I was thinking. But World of Warcraft breaks their skill trees just like this too. It breaks it down to what type of ability or what type of focus you have, whether it being offensive, defensive, or health. So it's pretty cool.
But also, it looks like there's definite branching of which way you go.
Oh, of course, yeah. That's with any skill tree, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I found with like the 2.0 ones that like for example, all those health team ups and the team building ones, I never bothered unlocking them because I never really played like that. So
Yeah.
they didn't really have. I was like, well, I don't want to have to go around. You had to buy them to get to the one behind it, so it was slightly annoying. But yeah, skill trees are pretty much part of video games now. That you're not going to get away from that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just bring that one back up. Yeah, so that was the first thing. There's also going to be enhancements when they're playing the play sets, because like for example in the Twilight one, if you don't have the force ability, you can use like a terminal to get around not having a force ability. That looked pretty a good way of them sort of working in around, because I'm getting the feeling that this thing of bringing all the characters into everything was kind of a last minute decision. Doesn't sound like it was planned from the get-go. Do you agree on that one?
Not really. I honestly think, if anything, I feel like it wasn't that it was last minute. I think it was more so like a last minute request from Lucas, because they were like, "Hey, you guys are doing this. Everybody can do it." So it's like, "Oh, really?" So I feel like maybe that's why it feels that way. But I don't think it was last minute. I feel like if anything, they probably wanted to do something like that before. So
yeah, it's just the way that when they've been talking about like Zeb and Boba Fett with their abilities of flying and wall crawling, and how they've had to work around them to do the play set. So kind of because I love the idea that it's like if it's going to add, it was a lot easier just to take a skill away just to kind of complete the story. But no, that was some great stuff in the Toy Box TV.
Yeah.
We also got to see traveling between the planets. I just got to see that a little bit more.
that was really cool. Yeah.
So that was pretty interesting. And a lot of the times you get like you get the space battles. I'll just bring that up as well. They're loading up. The space battle in that playset just looks amazing. I don't know if you've had a chance to play that bit, have you, or no?
I did pick it up for a little bit, and it's awesome. I honestly feel like flying feels a little bit tighter now, just like driving. But dude, there's nothing like going in space and shooting stuff in an X-wing, and no, it's fun. It's some fun stuff. I didn't get to play it too long though. I honestly was more focused on doing a lot of stuff, but when I had that chance, oh man, it's awesome. That's something that I'm really looking forward to, sitting down and spending countless of hours.
Because this is the option as well. You can kind of there's an area that you can jump between each planet, and you choose your planet, and then it flies off to, which I thought was a great way, rather than maybe just it's just probably logistics ways of. I always found the Pirates of the Caribbean, I get lost with the ship trying to find where I'm supposed to be going. So I like that idea. I like that idea a lot because I spent way too long just floating around trying to get anything. Also, now this is the quick thing I noticed when they had the logo screen up when they were flipping between the playset and the toy box. Whereas they had this loading screen. Hall of Heroes, Hall of Superheroes, Hall of Galactic Heroes. So we can definitely say there's going to be 3 different halls this year. Not a surprise, but I was wondering whether or not we'd see one massive hall, or if now. But it definitely looks like they've got 3 separate halls in there.
Yeah, no, that's something that we were already thinking it would happen. It'd be three halls.
Yeah. But at least now we can kind of at least see that is good, because they're not going to let us in there. That'll be the last one of probably the last things we'll find out.
Yeah, I think the only way we'll see it maybe is in the Toy Box Summit when one of the guys is staying up 24 hours leaks it.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll be locked out.
I think so too. I think they're going to be really cautious this year. I'm sure the demos will not have that.
Yeah, so there we have that terminal ability there that they can get around. If you use the force to open this door, you can use that button and you can get around it. So that's cool. I love that idea. Smart just a little thing that changes the whole game for lots of different characters.
Right.
What else did they say from there? Yeah, we got to see Coruscant and the High Council Room and Jedi temples. And then they jumped into the toy box and really kind of was quite loose with stuff. It was a really locked down version. There wasn't a lot on display in the menus. I don't think I saw hardly anything in the menus that we didn't already know about.
Yeah, they didn't have much unlocked, so that's why we didn't see much.
No, so they showed off. They showed off the power discs. They showed off the Twilights.
No slave one though.
No, they only did the Twilight and the and the Tomorrowland ones.
That's right.
The only thing that slightly bugged me, and it's the thing that bugs me with them anyway, those event discs. I think Matt was trying to charge them up for the whole event. And we never. I don't think we got. We didn't. I don't remember seeing Window.
No, he was there. We saw him.
Did we? I know it was charging and charging and charging, and it was the same with the Tomorrowland one. I don't know if we actually saw them in action because they took so long to charge and things get jumped.
Yeah, he showed us both. They eventually happened, but
yeah, it just took so long to kind of kick in. The Tomorrowland Skydome looks cool.
That's awesome. Very, very good.
This is General Grievous's vehicle, which jumps and rolls. Very cool.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite ones. I'm excited to use that one.
And let's bring up. I'm just trying to see where one is. Oh, here we go. Here's the Tomorrowland Skydome, which looks great. It just looks really cool. I can't help but want to make a Wizard of Oz toy box with that one.
Oh yeah, that's great.
That was just where my brain went straight to. It just looks like something like that.
Yeah.
But we also got to see the Inside Out characters in action in the toy box. Got to see their attacks, dodges, and rolls.
Yeah.
And just in general, so I think it's one of those cool things this year of them using this Toy Box TV to really kind of show the community more, but it's just being that much more open with what they're showing, aren't they?
Yeah, and it seems like this is their avenue to make announcements too. I mean, because obviously they announced, the summit here, and I'm sure this is where they're going to announce either a release date or something new. But who knows? Other than that, though, it's been great. I think the last few Toy Box TV lives have been awesome. They've been really good, on point, and key. Sadly, we won't see one next week because of the 4th of July weekend, but still, it was a great episode. So I was happy to watch it.
Yeah, no, it's a enjoyable thing because usually as well you've got the chat going on, so you've got you've got us in there, Rob from Coming Up TV. You've got I think Everloss has been in there. You'll have Bad Gamer TV. Whole load of Toy Box artists are in there. Lauren, Mighty Jaitas. There's usually quite a few people.
Our Patreons are in there too.
James as well, and a few. It's just a great. So there's a lot. Usually there's chat going on as well as. So it's kind of it's very good of an interactive experience. I'm finding because I try now to watch it, because it's usually Friday evening for me, watch it live, because you can interact, and also they, it is just a much more fun event to be watching, and you feel like you're sort of part of something a lot more than just those little 10-minute sort of Toy Box TV lives you see on, or Toy Box TVs you see on sort of YouTube. So no, I'm really, really pleased with it. It's been a real good, real nice thing that they've added this year. I'm really pleased with it.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so let's move on to our next subject. Okay, right. So our next subject was the Disney held a special event, the Disney Holiday Showcase in New York for the press, and Travis was able to go for us, and basically he got to play the game. He got to see the game in person, and he had apparently a very kind of long. He got to see all the figures. He got to see the starter pack here. You can see Travis there with Dave. And he got to play, and he got to fight General Grievous. There's a full article here on the website, so suggest coming over to DisKingdom.com and reading his full article.
Yeah, it's a good read. Definitely some cool stuff in there. He was supposed to join us to talk about it, but I actually just got a message from him saying sorry, his alarms didn't wake him up. But I replied, and he didn't reply, so I guess he went back to sleep.
Yes.
But either way, definitely check it out. Has a great read. Because this event was really private and was just for like the media and retailers or whatnot, he literally got to sit and just play
for a couple hours, I think.
For quite a few hours, and he got to check out a lot of things. But definitely check it out. Some cool stuff that he. I think he has a lot more pictures that he's going to put up too. But he definitely got to. Oh, that's actually one of my favorite ones there. Launchpad as a sidekick, which is awesome. Gives us more hope for Darkwing Duck. Woo!
See, I think Launchpad does DuckTales. That's my.
No, he is the DuckTales side, but he plays a big role in Darkwing Duck as well. So
yeah.
And obviously
there's the costume change discs as well.
Yeah,
I think that's the first time we've seen them actually like that. Mace Windu, yeah. So there's loads and loads of pictures there.
Now, go back up a little bit, because there was some really interesting right there, just a little bit below Boba Fett. Now that right there, he gets into the spline tool. And he's talking about how you can actually build like carnival rides so easily thanks to this spline tool now.
I got to see a little bit of video footage of this actually, and these boxes they go around. They actually can go around the track.
Yep.
And it looks like a roller coaster. And I'm just looking at the race, or you know how everyone loves building attraction. They are going to be epic in 3.0.
I mean, look at this Ferris wheel. I mean, you have like a chair ride that launches you. I mean, it's going to be cool because of this awesome new spline tool. This thing is going to make it make these new toy boxes just phenomenal. So that's one thing that he dove into that I really enjoyed. So definitely give it a read.
But I'm wondering, this is maybe the good thing with 3.0 with the toy box is they're building on it now. They've got the basics sorted. Because I think the 2.0 toy box was such an improvement over 1.0. Going into 3.0, things like this spline tool could really make a big impact. They tighten up that toy box. It could be, seeing the footage of just watching these boxes go around. I think everyone's brain, the toy box is going,
And I love these new Logic toys and everything. I guess the only thing that I really want for the toy box, and no disrespect to the 360 or PS3 people, but or even the Wii, but I definitely want bigger toy box capacities. That would be awesome. So hopefully it's bigger.
Yeah, it's a real hard one, because also when you are building on the new consoles, it's harder. You tend to. I forget about the older consoles. It's like, well, I'm building it for what I'm on, and that bar I'm using as, trying to do as well as I can.
Right.
And so here you can see all the characters here that we've seen so far. All the Star Wars, Twilight, and we've got some more pictures there. Loads of them. I just love that Olaf. Just looks so cool. The Tron characters, and here we can see a close up of the two. We can really see the difference here. So here's the takeover with the swords on it. It's the first time I've really been able to sort of see what they look like other than not looking just like dead?
You know, I have pictures from E3, and I've just been like, ever since I did the updates, I still got to put some more up. But
so there, I can sort of see there now that we've got the race sort of cup there, so I can now see the differentials, because before I was finding it a little bit tricky to see what it was. So there we have some of the power discs. So nice up close shots of the Tomorrowland, Skydome and Terrain, and the Twilight one. I can never think of the name of them.
Oh, which one?
These ones
here.
Oh,
the Planet of Felucia Sky,
yeah.
Gotcha.
Just some great pictures there, and there's Travis with JV and the team. Yeah, just a great so definitely check over to the website DisKingdom.com to check out that awesome event. But yeah, so a little bit more hands-on. I'm really hoping that when they come to the UK next, I will get my chance to have a go as well, because everybody on the team's going, except for me.
No, they don't do stuff for foreign countries, only the US. US and Canada, apparently, because everybody's complaining about that.
Yes. Okay, so right now it's time for a little bit more fun. That's
fun.
Woo!
I love fun, man.
Right. Okay. So for our next bit, we're going to do a little bit of sort of guessing here. We know that Marvel is coming to 3.0. We've seen images. You've already seen Ultron and Hulkbuster in person.
Oh, Hulkbuster.
And we know we've seen a few press shots, and also JV has said there are more Marvel stuff to come, and we know there's a playset coming. So the question really is, what do you think is going to be coming? How do you think Marvel is going to play out in 3.0?
Okay, well, for me, I still think, and I've been saying this for a while, but I feel like it's not going to be an Age of Ultron playset. It's not going to be an Ant-Man playset. I think it's going to be like a hybrid playset, something that happens in between both the Avengers and Ant-Man that kind of ties the whole thing together. So I feel like it's going to be a Ultron Ant-Man hybrid playset. And as far as figures go, I feel like we know Ultron and Hulkbuster. I feel like Scarlet Witch is going to be a figure, and I definitely feel like Vision will be. I'm skeptical with Quicksilver. I don't know yet, because of you also have to include Ant-Man, and definitely. Since we have Ultron, we're gonna need Yellow Jacket, so it kind of makes sense. So I don't know. It's kind of hard to say, but at this point, I think that's the route they're taking. It's gonna be a hybrid playset. Will they have more figures than that? I don't know, but Quicksilver would be the next choice.
See, we've also got Civil War coming out in sort of March, haven't we? Next year, so still within the 3.0 timeline. So I'm thinking if it's going to be a playset, a combination. It could either be a combination of those three movies, or it could be a new story involving whoever's in those three movies. I think just Quicksilver, Scarlet Witch, and Vision that were introduced in Age of Ultron make complete sense. I can't even. I think Scarlet Witch needs a strong female. She fits the bill.
And yes, Scarlet Witch.
Scarlet Witch fits that bill. Vision, I can't see them. They've been pushing these characters in place, so that's where I think we're going to see a little bit more of these characters we saw at Age of Ultron, and also in Civil War. I'm just trying to think who else from the lineup that they could. I think Ant-Man is a shoo-in.
If you're saying Civil War, I'm thinking we need the villain.
Oh, Crossbones.
Yep. That's what I was thinking. I wanted to pull them up before you even.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's the case, then yeah, you would need him too.
I mean, I don't know whether or not they'll introduce Wasp. Wasp is.
That's interesting. Maybe.
I could easily. I'm thinking here, like, if they're gonna do it, they're gonna have 6 to 7, 8 characters. So Ultron is the villain, Hulkbuster, and then I'm guessing, to me, Quicksilver makes very much sense because they've already got the dash ability built in. They've already got some of that in there, so they've already got a speedster in, so they could do that. I can't see them going off to doing like Black Panther, Captain Marvel, or anything like that just yet, because they've got those. They're going to keep that for when those.
Yeah,
movies comes out.
they can back pocket those, absolutely.
It would make sense to use the characters that we've just pushed into the mainstream this year with Age of Ultron and Ant-Man. They could throw us a few sort of different, because I didn't really expect Falcon in 2.0. So he was a bit of an and you know, we had Nova and Iron Fist that really weren't that well known that much, but that's how I think a lot of people are. No one, I think, would be surprised with any of those characters that we've talked about coming out.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be an interesting. I mean, I hope they announce something soon, because I feel like we've been in the shadows for too long. But I still think we're not gonna know until either Ant-Man has released in theaters or maybe like the week of. But other than that, yeah, we're just gonna have to wait patiently. But
yeah, I mean, it's like, you know, if they announced an Ant-Man and Yellow Jacket figures literally just as that movie hits, it's going to get extra attention. People will go, oh, I want Ant-Man, because they seem to, you know, it's like Tomorrowland, you know, put those discs out there when the movie comes out to try and kind of cash in on it. They did it last year with Maleficent. And it makes sense to make announcements near when people are starting to think about those characters, and then it makes it look like the new game is very fresh and new with having all of these concepts in. Yeah,
no, totally agree. Totally.
But also, I'm looking at how the last sort of 6-8 weeks has gone with Disney Infinity free announcements. You know, up till E3 has pretty much just been about the launch stuff that we're kind of assuming at this point. You know, the Inside Out, the Rise of the Empire, and also Twilight of the Republic. And it made sense for them to almost like finish that off, get that all out there, give lots of gameplay footage, let people know about it, get the power discs out there. And they've kind of been consistent in, you know, they put out so much information. I think it made sense to hold back on the Marvel. I think it made complete sense to trying to talk about all these different things would have been so hard. So if they go to San Diego Comic-Con and go, here is Marvel, everyone would be like, it would just make more sense. But I think it's still going to be a lot of Star Wars stuff at Comic-Con.
Oh yeah, I think Star Wars is going to be a big presence at Comic-Con.
I still don't think we'll see much of Force Awakens yet.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to have to see it before game launch, which is it's just going to have to, because it's going to be in the Hall of Galactic Heroes. So, if anything, I think Comic-Con would be the best choice. Or if not D23, but D23, there's a whole different theory behind D23 behind me, and I'm sure you, and actually I think Travis, that we have going for D23 as far as what they're going to announce there.
Yeah, I mean, I think at D23 we're going to find out a little bit more about maybe a little bit more with the Disney side, maybe a Disney Wave 2. If that's
okay,
going to be coming.
Since we're talking about it, yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. I feel like we might hear, like you said, Wave Disney 2, and possibly maybe if there's more playsets. I don't know. Who
knows? I'm really hopeful. It's kind of quite hard. I think there is still part of me that thinks, well, we got 5 in 3.0 already sort of told to us, and I think after 3 last year, it's like, well, we got more, so it's fine. But I think there's still people I think they know that they need more. People need places. They need that structured play more.
Well, if I remember D23 2013, when they announced that we already had 5 playsets, and then boom, they announced Toy Story there, and then they also announced a huge other wave of characters. So who knows? Maybe.
Well, if you look back at D23 from that point, and look at how 1.0 worked out, you know, Toy Story, the playset came out a couple of months after launch, which I loved. I loved that when they did that. And this is I'm excited. Oh, we've got a special guest on the show this week.
Stop talking.
He's trying to get in. He's trying to get a power disc. So yeah, with the D23, we had those, and then we had all those toy box characters announced at D23. So, and they were like wave 2 and 3 of 1.0. So yeah, fingers crossed. And like you say, you know, once that game hits our hands, we're going to get into the yeah. You know, we're going to get into that. You know, we're going to get into the game, and we're going to see stuff. And you know, they don't want the same repeat of what happened with Tron Gate.
Oh God, no! Yeah, no more.
Yeah. So it's going to be the thing. I think they've got like 2 more months to sort of spread out the announcements before. I think it's going to be very hard to keep any surprises for anything after the game's in your hand.
Exactly.
Until they start doing big patches. But I'm guessing they'll probably do the same thing they've done before. The minute 3.0, the disc leaves, the truck leaves, and they wave it off, they'll be like, 4.0, get on. Get back to work.
Exactly.
Yeah. They're probably already on to 5.0 by now, but yeah, they've.
Yeah. I'm sure they're definitely on that.
But no, I think the next couple of months is going to be pretty interesting. Like you said, we've still got 2 playsets we know nothing about. We've seen plenty of footage of the free ones we've seen so far. We're a couple of weeks out from Comic-Con. I think we are going to find out the release date of all the launch stuff this week.
Hopefully, yeah.
I'm just thinking. I think JV did say.
I hope it's something before I go out of town. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see. Yeah, should as soon as we know the release date, which should be sometime early next week, which is basically like the next couple of days. So I think it's got to that point where, I don't think they can hold out much longer on that release date.
I've been like this ever since. I'll be like, release date.
It's hard with this, I think how far we are going to be away, but also, all the retailers, that information is kind of feeding through on different retailers for pre-ordering and stuff. And I think people just want to know when it's coming out. And if they want to get a jump on Skylanders and Lego and they want to jump ahead of them, which I think we're all kind of feeling like it probably will do, they're going to want to get that date out as quickly as possible. And I'm really looking forward to, in a couple of days' time, we're going, we'll have 3.0 next month. I would love that.
Oh, man. Don't get me excited. And also, don't scare my wallet. So.
Yeah, I am not kidding. I have started a pot where I have now actually starting to put some of my money in every week, put aside to start building up my collection.
I'm already, because I'm thinking like Comic-Con, there's so many like Funko Pop out there that somebody wants to I do actually have an infinity pot to put money. So tough. Anyways, hopefully I will know soon, but hopefully I'll be out of town when they make the announcement, because where I'm going, actually I tweeted where I'm going, I'm going to be close to Avalanche, so hopefully but I won't get reception, so I won't know.
No, you're going to the Outback.
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah. But no,
it's the American Australia there. So
yeah. Well, I do remember. I mean, I have been to Utah, and it's very, very dry, very different to LA. Yes. But no, it should be good. I think we're going to be. It's going to be July is going to be interesting, because I think that's San Diego Comic-Con. Is going to really kind of boost up and get everything going. And I think we're just going to see lots more drip feeding of that information. It feels hard after the amount of information we've had over the last 6 weeks. We've just had to consolidate, take it all in. Yeah. And it's been an incredible sort of 6 weeks for news, really. I think because with 2.0, we were so drip fed, it's been very different. Yeah. And I think this way is working better. Information's out there. There's always going to be questions. Was this? Was that? If they announce 10 figures today, the question tomorrow is, what's next? That's always going to be the question.
It's going to be like, what? Why are we getting all 10 of those? Why aren't we getting these?
Yeah. It's one of the. It's like 5 play sets. Yeah. Or are we going to get a 6th? Can we get a 7th? It's just,
dude. If they announce 15 play sets, people would still not be happy.
Yeah, I think that's it. It'd be like they can announce all of it, and then someone goes, "Where's Pete's Dragon? I want a Pete's Dragon playset."
Yeah, I want Gravity Falls. Where's Gravity Falls? although I feel like they might be in this game if there is a wave 2. So. I don't know about playset, but I don't know.
I could see a Dipper and Mabel toy box characters.
I'm thinking Grunkle Stan too.
See, I always start wondering when they start getting into 3s and 4 characters, do you starting to go into playset zone then?
No, because I mean we basically have 2. Don't we have some that are just 3 and
Oh, we'll have the 3 now for Frozen.
Yeah, we're gonna definitely be up to 3, and the bases are different, so it clearly smells strictly toy box. So
Actually, I must admit, I think if they were looking at toy box only characters, I would like to see a Phileas and
a Furby man.
Phineas. We got Phileas. Yeah, we got Ferb and the Mabel and Dipper, just to kind of finish off that sort of. In some way, it'd be nice to kind of maybe close off some of the things from 1.0 and 2.0 so we can move on to the next stuff rather than it, still feels odd that, we got Phileas but not Ferb.
Well, then you're going to start a big conversation about like, well, where's Honey Lemon and Wasabi and Fred, or how about Genie and Jafar? I mean, it could keep going forever, but I don't know. Hopefully, they'll back pocket those for later on.
Yeah, I mean, they've got years to do bits and pieces.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's cool. And I think as we've got a little bit of time left, I think we should discuss something else that's come up this week, which I'm going to throw at Aid now. Right. Okay. Not Walmart. No. This is going to be a Super Mario. Right. This week there's been a number of reports come out through. I think it was Go Nintendo put out that apparently Nintendo and Disney are planning on, or they're trying to work together on some kind of projects. Now, there wasn't really, it was just rumor, it was just speculation. There was no confirmation, there was no information. And sort of everyone's brains runs off in about 1,000 different places at once. Now, first off, I'm going to put this straight out. Obviously, Wreck-It Ralph had Browser, it had you had the mushroom, you had a few sort of nods to Super Mario in that movie. Now, if they're making Wreck-It Ralph 2, which I think they are, that could be part of the discussion. What part of the video games are going to be included in the movie? Will there be any merchandise tie-in, etc.? That's where my brain goes to straight away, is the Wreck-It Ralph movie zone. The big problem, I think, with Disney now is obviously they've just signed, Nintendo just signed an agreement with Universal for the theme parks. So it kind of limits things a little bit in terms of what they can do with that. But obviously there's a big question is, what about Amiibo and Disney Infinity? Because I think after the Skylanders announcement of E3, everyone's just like, well, they can do it if they wanted to. So what, did you get to see this article?
Yep, I got it. And I can tell you my opinion.
Yep,
okay,
carry on.
All right, this is going to be long-winded, so just bear with me. And so if you want to jump in, hold it to the end because it's going to be a little bit. Here's my thought. Will it happen? For Infinity, I don't think so. I don't see it happening for Infinity. If there were to be anything Infinity, I feel like we might see maybe a Sonic. And the only reason why I say that, it's because it's Sega. It's completely not Nintendo. But here's my theory, though. Can Disney and Nintendo be working on a side project? Like whether it be a mobile game or a different console game? Absolutely. I see that as very possible. Now, here's another theory, or not, and this is just my thought. JB tweeted something about this. Somebody said, will we ever see Mario and Mickey together? And I think he's very spot on. He said something along the lines of, only if only our CEO, Bob Iger, purchased Nintendo, then we would probably see Mickey. Mickey would be a lot closer. I'm sorry, Mario would be a lot closer to being in a game with Mickey. Now, here's my personal opinion. And a lot of people might be like in disagreement, but I feel like Nintendo has been in trouble for a few years, and this goes along with the Wii U not being a successful platform. But the fact that they signed theme park agreements with Universal, and they've already said that they're going to do mobile games now. That's outside of their platform. It shows you that there's a little bit of a struggle. they had a big opportunity with, first off, with Skylanders a long time ago, because Activision approached Nintendo saying, hey, we have this idea for these Toys to Life game if you guys want to do it, and they declined. Another thing that they messed up on was Nintendo approached them saying, we want the Mario Brothers in our movie, and they said no, but well, we can work out Bowser. So here's the thing. I feel like Nintendo's struggling. The fact that they've teamed up with Skylanders sees it way further away from Disney Infinity, so it's not going to happen. And I feel like it was Nintendo's need to team up with Skylanders, because I feel like Nintendo's struggling. And here's another thing: a lot of people are saying Amiibo. Hello, everybody loves them. It's a craze. Well, wait a second. Hold on. First of all, there's shortages that are put on by Nintendo. It's not because Nintendo is just purposely doing it. It's because they're also trying to, be careful. They do certain amount of lines and they don't release a lot because they're being careful for them. Now, here's the thing that I noticed as far as Nintendo goes with releasing stuff. When something messes up and it's not selling, they don't like to report their failures much. So clearly, we don't see what's going on behind the scenes. And Amiibo is not really a big craze like everybody thinks. It's just the States. Because if you go to Australia, there's shelves full of everything. If you go to the UK, I'm sure it's a little difficult, but it's not as hard as getting figures out, Amiibos out here in the US. Japan, it's easy to get them. I mean, if I really wanted something badly, I can import it from a different country. It's just here in America. I think everybody's fueled on wants instead of needs, and therefore everybody outbuys them. But ultimately, last long-winded comment is, will Disney and Nintendo work together on a game? Yes. Will it be Infinity related? I highly doubt it. I just don't see it happening at all. And again, the only way it would happen is if Disney decides to buy Nintendo, which I doubt it's going to happen. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's this kind of thing of, I'm looking at it going, it's not so much a case of could or they could happen if they want to. There's no reason things couldn't work together. In 5-10 years they could work on something. Could we see Mario in Infinity? I doubt it. Could I see a Mickey Amiibo? Yes. I actually look at it. I'm looking at it the opposite way around.
Yeah.
I could see Mickey as an Amiibo. Dual. They could do that dual thing. It's very hard to say right here, right now, with the way that Skylanders happened with this dual functionality figure. It's happening. So therefore, I find it very hard to sort of sit there and say, well, it's not going to happen. Well, it could happen. Might it happen? The possibilities are maybe slim, but it's very hard to sit there for me and think, well, they announced this Skylander Amiibo at E3. It's very hard to sit here and say it's never going to happen. Disney will work with other companies if they can make money out of it. They're already working with EA for Star Wars. They're already working with Avalanche. They're working with Panic Button. They're working with Ninja Theory, Studio Gobo, etc. They're working with mobile game departments. They're working with Warner Brothers on Lego game. They will work. They work with other companies all the time. So there's no reason they couldn't work with Nintendo on. They made an Olaf game on the DS and Wii. They could be working on stuff, and I just find they could be working on something. Is it Disney Infinity related? Maybe not. Maybe you
have so much IP out there.
Yeah. It's very hard. Nintendo are going through a moment at the minute where they've made some amazing bits of technology, but they are resting on a lot of nostalgia and retro with the games. And there's a big push in the games industry looking at Nintendo going, if you want to play Super Mario, you have a Nintendo system. But the world has moved on. Everyone's got smartphones. The DS industry is losing a lot of ground to smartphones, and the world is changing. And Nintendo have been maybe slightly slower at trying to change. I think Nintendo have always been very much on. They want their hardware and they want their stuff on their hardware. And I think I think in a few years it would never surprise me if Nintendo did the Sega. When I was a kid, if you said to me Sega and Nintendo were working together, I'd have been like, nah, that's never going to happen. You know, you got your two different systems. You know, we had, you know, when I was a kid, it was Sony and Nintendo. Oh, sorry, Sega and Nintendo. You know, within 10 years, it was Sony and Nintendo, and then Microsoft jumped in. You know, you can. I don't think you will never know where the future's going. You know, 10 years time, we could be having Nintendo games on, you know, the PlayStation 5. You just don't know where it's going to go in the future.
Oh, yeah, it's just the whole Mario make you think. Like I said, it could work. Infinity related, there's just too much intellectual property that Disney has that they can use before. If there's a Wreck-It Ralph 2 and it involves Mario being a crucial part in that movie, can it possibly be a part of Infinity? Maybe. I mean, it maybe can be, but I see it highly unlikely. I just don't see it happening. If there's a Wreck-It Ralph 2, if Mario's in it, then things will change everything. But I highly doubt he's going to be a big part of it.
But there's the thing, you know, he could literally be a cameo. I mean, I only watched Wreck-It Ralph again a couple of days ago, and you know, it's like Sonic. You know, Sonic's on the cover of the movie for me. Yeah. He's not even in it. He's literally just there's a booth where he walks by and says, "Don't die in the real life." You know, he's not even a character; he's just a billboard.
Yeah, he's just an ad. Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah. So, yeah.
But you do have Eggman in the villains meeting too, which is funny.
So that's the thing. You know, it's there's already proven fact that they will work together. So, but. You know, they're not going to bring all of the amiibos into Disney Infinity. That's just impossible. You know, they're already bulging on how they can fit all the characters into the current generation, let alone trying to include, you know, 100, 200 amiibos. There's no really any and financial sense. You know, if you've got a figure, but I could see. You know, you could easily see a single character or a few characters cross over in a few years. It wouldn't surprise me. I think that's the difference. If you know they put out a Mickey amiibo / Infinity figure, it wouldn't surprise me. And it wouldn't surprise me if you know Mario, but Mario they would not allow onto an Xbox or a PS4 at the minute.
It'll be just like Skylanders. It's going to be exclusive to their console.
And I don't.
That would be the only way.
And I don't think Disney like that. I don't think
I agree.
They don't seem to be very much into exclusive. You had it yourself. You know, the idea of doing a digital only character freaks them out again. So the idea of doing a single character in a play, I don't think Disney are into that. But like I said, I can't say it's never going to happen. But I don't think it's going to be happening for the foreseeable future with Infinity.
Yeah, I agree. They probably will watch Infinity, but side project, absolutely, definitely possible.
Yeah, it's this kind of thing that because it was brought up in our Facebook group, and it's like it's really hard to kind of like I said, it was very difficult for me to say no. I can't. We don't know any information. It's not. But there's part of me that thinks something could happen, but I just don't think it's going to be in Infinity based because they don't need it, and Disney want to own they've got enough stuff. They've got so many brands and franchises of their own. Why would they give money to somebody else? But I could easily see them working together on other projects. It's just, you know, it's all up in the air at the minute. It's very hard to know.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Anything else you want to add on that before we wrap up for this show?
I did say I don't know if you wanted to talk about the Walmart thing. I thought it was kind of nice to mention.
Okay, yeah, okay. We'll just do a quick thing on Walmart. Okay, let's bring up that one. Okay, so Walmart. I'll let you lead on that one.
I think it's worth a mention. Travis was awesome enough to share something he saw on Walmart. Walmart not only has Kanan from Star Wars Rebels as an exclusive figure and that you can pre-order now, but as pre-order aside from Kanan in the starter pack, they also have the Twilight of the Republic Power Discs and the Tomorrowland Power Disc pack. But they are basically half price of what they normally would run, which is $9.99, Right now, they're listed at half price, and you can pre-order them for that price. Could it be a retailer error? It can be. Will they honor the price? I think they will, only because it's definitely something that happens sometimes. If it's a mistake, they'll honor it. If they go back and cancel your order and not, I don't think they want the negative publicity. But again, I'm not saying it's a guarantee that you will get it. But yeah, there you go. Thanks for bringing that up, Roger. But they're both up there for $4.96, and I believe it is limited to 2 of each per person when you order. So you could potentially order 4 of these if you wanted to. So anyways, give it a shot. Maybe they are doing this for early pre-orders, giving it to you half price, or maybe, like I said, it could be an error. But it's definitely a great opportunity to get the power discs, 4 power discs for the price of 1 pack. So
yeah, I mean, it's like, for me, I mean, if I was in the US, I would put in a pre-order to get Canon anyway, so I would probably just pick it in. But I think on the subject of the price error thing, I think it's important to know, because sometimes people get into a real sort of rant about when a retailer puts up the wrong price and doesn't honor it. Correct. Legally, I know specifically here in the UK, if a retailer makes a mistake, there's no contract until the delivery. That's basically there until it's some kind of legal term with this kind of thing. If a mistake is made, they can pull out. It depends really on how much they're going to lose on it. In this, when they've tried selling a £2,000 lawnmower and they sold it for £30 online, very easy to say no, it's a mistake. But retailers can cancel stuff if the price was wrong to begin with. So it's very tricky. So if it did get changed, the pricing goes back up. Knowing going in full well that it might be a mistake. Yeah. I'm just saying beforehand. So this might be an incorrect one, or it could be literally just a nice bonus to get everybody in. I think $5 for 4 discs, brand new for launch, sounds almost too good to be true. But it could be a nice promotion to get people to get into buying the packs rather than because they know you're not going to be doing the blind bags this year. It might be a different strategy.
No, I agree, and yeah, as far as the whole pricing thing, I agree. I mean, in the U.S., there is like false advertisement laws and stuff like that, but it's ultimately up to who wants to really like pursue legal action. I wouldn't do it for $5. I would just say, oh well, no luck for me here. But to be honest with you, like you said, hey, give it a shot. If it works out, great. If not, oh well. But this could be maybe a preview of what their sale could be at launch. I mean, it could be like buy one. I mean. 50% off of Paradise at launch, so who knows? You never know. But either way, I thought it was worth mentioning, and thanks to Travis for sharing it.
Yeah, it's a very good price. I mean, I think you're barely looking at barely just over $1 a disc.
Yeah,
but this is the same thing with with not having the blind bags. You're going to be saving money anyway over 2.0 and 1.0 by restricting. I'm already looking at going to be placing these 2 packs of power discs. Well. If I'm going to buy them for, say, £7 a packet, that's cheaper than 2 blind packs at £4. And also, I'm not going to I know what I'm getting. I'm not going to have to buy duplicates. It's going to save me money in the long run. Right. So, yeah, but I know that especially out in the US, you've got a real thing of all these different retailer exclusives. So it's worth looking around for who's got good offers. I know if the UK was doing the same thing as this, I'd be having pre-orders coming in box. The parcel man on that day would have so much coming in different parcels.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And then you know what? Pigging back off of this, just to talk about one more subject, and it relates to power discs, and this goes out to you, Roger, first, but we've heard so much about figures and playsets already, but we've barely scratched the surface of power discs. I mean, last time we had 84. This time we've only seen a total of 12 discs. What are your thoughts on this? I mean, do you think we're going to have a big wave this time around? Or is it because we don't have blind bags? Are going to be just small 4-disc packs related to either a movie or a playset? I mean, what are your thoughts?
I'm surprised they haven't done an Inside Out pack yet. That surprises me that we haven't seen that, because we got one for Rise of the Empire and Twilight of the Republic. I think they are holding these back a little bit. I think we're gonna see a lot more stretched out power discs. I think we're really gonna see a lot more releases, but more spread out. You know, you're gonna see one pack. You know, we could be having one new pack of 4 every month. You know, I'm looking at like Skylanders. They've still got one figure and traps coming out now. You know, they've still got content coming out this week. They had a Skylanders Day. So it wouldn't surprise me if we had Power Disc packs still coming out, you know, Easter next year, you know, May. You know, if they released one pack a month, you know, you could still rack up 40 Power Discs just by doing one pack a month for 10 months. You know,
no, that's true. That's very true.
Let alone if they went into 2 packets a month would be 80 discs spread over 10 months. And a lot of people wouldn't notice what they're buying. You'd be in this, $7, $5. Whereas if they put out, you know, like when they put out, you know, 40 blind bag, 40 last year, and then they put another lot. A lot of people are maybe going, no, I'm not doing that. That's way too expensive. I'm not getting in on this. There's too many to collect. You walk into a store and you see 4 new power discs. Oh, there we go. That's where I'm looking. I'm looking at it more like, you know, they can spread this out, and they can also announce things a bit later. They can change things up a bit. You know, we've already, you know, if they're only going to launch with 8 power discs, it seems quite bizarre after having packs of 40 last year and packs of 20 the year before. But I think if they spread it out, it could be a really good way of getting continuous money coming in, and also that hype keep going.
Now with power discs still being included in the Hall of Heroes, Superheroes, and Galactic Heroes or whatever, do you think they're going to announce more soon? Like I'm thinking they'll do something similar to what they did last year at Comic-Con, where they showed a bunch of discs before. What do you think?
I think we're just going to see a lot of power discs just in general. I think they can spread out a little bit of information. You know, they put out information on 2 new packs. I think until that initial announcement comes out, it's a bit odd. I mean, it's the fact that we only know about Tomorrowland and these 2 Star Wars packs. I thought we might have seen some more Disney stuff. I'm going to be honest. I figured we might have seen some more Disney power discs. But they might just be holding back a little bit off of that because they don't want that getting lost in the launch. Because a lot of people will be looking at what's available and going, how much is this going to cost me?
Right.
And if they hold it back a little bit, I think the power discs could be the continuously good money spinner if they do it slowly. And I think that's where I think we, you know, if they literally just say, we've got a, you know, could you imagine in like, you know, February, we've got a brand new pack coming out, because you might know they're there because you've seen them in the Hall of Heroes, but you might not know what they do. You might not know what it looks like.
Right. That's true.
And they can tie them in with the movie releases a lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you've got Civil War coming out, bring out a Civil War power disc pack.
Right.
You might not be able to get the figures out because of the timings, but you can get, if you think, well, we'll just delay some Marvel power discs to tie in like they did this year with that twin pack, double pack that they brought out, Captain Marvel and stuff. You know, they could tie it in a little bit better, I think.
That's true.
You know, Utopia, Good Dino, you know, all of that could come out just as that movie hits.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. I agree with you there. And then last question to end this whole thing. Do you think we'll see the Light Cycle and the Tron flight vehicle as power discs, because we didn't get them, you know, physically before?
I'm wondering if they could do a Tron power disc pack, but I don't know with the word of Tron whether or not they might just want to throw it into the toy box just to keep so they leave Tron well alone. It wouldn't, because they're already in the iOS version, so they're already in game. So it wouldn't surprise me if they did a Tron pack,
like a twin pack, maybe.
Well, no, just literally just a Tron pack of four new Tron discs.
Oh, I was thinking about both figures and the discs, like a twin pack.
I don't think we'll see any twin packs at all.
Anymore?
I think that's dead. We only got one in 2.0. I don't think they're doing it. I think with the way they're selling the power discs now, the store space, I mean, there's just not enough store space.
That's true.
I don't think we'll be going down the 2-pack route. And we only had one anyway in 2.0. I just don't think they'll do that again because it was unpopular and they got a lot of bad. Not a lot of people like that Aladdin pack coming out the way they did it.
Yeah. Right.
But I think they're going to be spreading things out. But I wonder with Tron whether or not it will just be thrown out onto the toy box at launch to have it. Don't mention Tron anymore.
Yeah, like maybe like a toy box, power disc pack. You know, something themed to the toy box or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's cool. Anyway, guys, big thank you for joining me this week. Remember to check us out at DisKingdom.com. And remember to hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up. And if you're listening on iTunes, or you can give us reviews there. Big thank you to our Patreons, Ethan over at sorterapps.com and Magic Band Collectors, and also James at Infinity Museum. Also, just a very, very quick note, I am running a competition over at DisKingdom.com for a $25 gift certificate for Disney Store. It runs out on the end of June, so quickly get in there and get it. So you get, if whoever wins that can spend the money on it once. So if you wanted some Disney Infinity products, you could either save it for 3.0 or maybe pick up some of the 2.0 stuff in the sale. But that competition ends the end of June, so not much time left for that to be tomorrow. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Big thank you for Abe again. And we shall see you guys later.
Yeah, thanks, everybody. And last thing, next week's show will be a few days late because I will be out of town for the 4th of July weekend. So we will talk to you guys just a couple of days later.
Yes, we should be a little bit later on that one. Got all these American want a holiday.
We're going on holiday now. We freed ourselves from the Queen.
Yeah, he broke up from us, and I'm like, yeah, we're gonna celebrate that. We got rid of him.
We're gonna celebrate, and we celebrate by having contests only in our country. Yeah. Sorry, guys.
We should see you guys later.
Later, guys. Take care. Happy 4th and
May
happy UK Day.